Hi, my name is Jack Willard. The name of our video, Bob Joyce in the words of Gene Ho. In his brand new book, America in a Flash, Life Lessons from Our Nation's Leaders, Gene Ho, editor-in-chief of George Magazine and former campaign photographer for President Donald Trump, Gene Ho lays it all out. He has an entire chapter about Pastor Bob Joyce. In it, Gene shares his own journey to Christ and how it was influenced by Pastor Bob. Bob Joyce qualifies as a world leader because he has a growing YouTube ministry seen around the world. Each Sunday, people visit from many nations. Just a tiny church in Benton, Arkansas. But a much bigger church is in the works. Pastor Bob also appears frequently in George Magazine, writing columns and being interviewed by Gene Ho. Because of a strong public perception that Bob Joyce used to be the most famous singer of all times, Pastor Bob is a risk taker. Simply by putting himself out there. But in doing so, he puts his trust in God, who seems to keep things in check. It's been happening since 2011, when John Cook put up the first video of a Pastor Bob Joyce service where he was preaching and singing. Now, Bob tends to send out mixed messages. Many people say this. He has made veiled denials, but he has also given some obvious clues. In reality, the pastor himself is a walking, talking, singing clue. Lately, he's been stressing, don't follow man. You don't need Paul, you don't need Peter, you don't need Bob Joyce, and you don't need Elvis. You need Jesus. He said that in Hot Springs at a big hall on August the 11th, 2024, when he brought the Household of Faith service to the Horner Hall Theater. That weekend, George Magazine put on a huge, successful event, and on Sunday, the place was packed at the Horner Hall Theater. Pastor Bob sang and preached, and then he did baptisms for a long time. It was a very special day, and I'm sure he was completely worn out at the end of it. In Gene Ho's book, he explains Pastor Bob's thought process. Yours truly, Jack Willard, was given a portion of the chapter called simply Bob Joyce. Gene explains that when deciding whether or not to participate in George Magazine, Bob's answer was as simple as this: I'll do whatever is best for the Lord. As Gene Ho goes on to say, the only thing that mattered was how it would benefit Jesus. Pastor Bob, it seems, is not worried about critics, people that don't understand the process God used to ordain the man who calls himself Bob Joyce as a minister of the gospel. He is a new creature in Christ. The old man has passed away. The old man exists no more. His focus is on Jesus Christ. So, when people make comments during our live shows or a comment in one of our pre-recorded videos like this, and they say things like, when do you think he will admit who he is and things like that? When do you think he'll be honest about it? I don't see it as deception. I see it as God's path for ordaining this man who now calls himself Bob Joyce to a ministry that is blessing thousands and thousands of people. It doesn't matter whether you or I approve or understand. God's ways are not our ways. So America in a Flash is, as I speak to you, just about ready to be available. You can order it on Amazon. You can go to georgemagazine.com and get your copy. Hopefully, soon we'll have Gene Ho on. We'll talk about the entire book, all the leaders that he speaks about in America in a Flash. I can't wait for that. I'm so thankful for you. Please subscribe to this channel. We've got some great stuff coming up. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and hit the notification bell, because sometimes we pop on to pop off, and you'll know about it. You'll get a notification. Often we are on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. East Coast time with Worldwide Ramblings. We hear from so many of you then, and it's always a pleasure as we hear from not just American cities, but we hear from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, on and on. You'll notice a thanks button here on the screen, hopefully. Feel free to leave a tip. It can be $1, $2, $5, $10 or more if God has so blessed you. It helps us out so much as we do this in what is semi-retirement, I guess you could say. I'm always appreciative and always make sure that we let everybody know, those who are able to and those who decide to bless us with a tip, either on the thanks button or by using my Cash App, which is lowercase letters Media Guy, and the number is 56, Media Guy 56. So can't wait to see you on the next live show. Share this video if you can. I would really appreciate it. There are so many videos here, both pre-recorded and in the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. I'll talk to you real soon.